Hey guys, welcome back to Island Garage. Today we're doing a 2019 Tiguan. We got the rims off of it right here. Going to be putting on some nice Ironmans. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but they are a subdivision of, I believe, Cooper tires. They're not half bad, I gotta say. We put them on a few cars in our day. So we like them. We're going to go ahead and toss some new ones on here. These are pretty shot. So we're just going to rock and roll right into it. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe, or anything else you would like to know about a 2019 Tiguan or changing tires in general, just feel free to leave a comment. Alright, so without further ado, let's just get right into it.
We're going to just talk a little bit about the TPMS sensors on these Germans. They're a little bit different on the Tiguan. Normally the sensor is directly behind the tire valve, so we'll just go with that. When you're using the blade, or they call it the bucket, you always want this in the 12 o'clock and away. So you go 12, 9, and 6. You never go 1, 2 to 6, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6, because you never want the blade to be in contact with that. 12 o'clock and back, and he's going to show you now when you get there. You always want to stay away from the TPMS sensor. So we're going to break it down, then we're going to put it on the tire rotation, and we'll show you where that goes also with the TPMS sensor. Did it pop? No. Because that's the factory. It's going to take a little more.
So of course, once you pop the bead, it'll look something like this. You can clearly see the bead of the tire all the way around. It's not holding anywhere. And then after you get the front, obviously move to the back, follow the same process so you don't damage your TPMS sensors if you have one. Move the rim to the right location. Of course, back side, all popped off. Should be all nice and loose now. So then once you get this done, pop it on.
So now that the tire is mounted on the tire machine, this would be your tire valve, TPMS sensor for most vehicles. When you're dismounting the rubber off the rim, you want it at 2 o'clock. When you're mounting it, we're going to come back here to 7 o'clock. We're going to dismount. If you keep it at 2 o'clock with the arm here, it'll be right around here. When you go to lift this, you'll already clear that lower sensor. So we'll actually show you when we're going to do it. But you always keep 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It keeps it easy. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, a lot of options where they put it. But you always want to keep the TPMS sensor closer to the arm when you're going to take it off, because once the rubber gets past, it'll never have an option to crush this. If you leave it far away, as it's bringing that tire up, the steel bead in the tire, that ring, actually flexes across it'll grab that plastic and just crush the TPMS sensor. So you always want to do 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock. 2 o'clock when you're pulling it off, 7 o'clock when you're putting it on. I've done hundreds, if not probably thousands of tires. Never have an issue that way. Always remember those two simple things. You'll always have a good TPMS sensor. So we're going to spin it now. Bring down your arm. So this piece here is already past the tire valve on this lip. So as you go around, it'll just pop right off. You see, I came back to 2 o'clock because I'm going to take the other part of the tire up. And it's the same thing. You just want to stay away from the tire valve. If you ever get to the point where the tire did not dismount fully and this tire valve is going to swing to the arm any past 2 o'clock, I would stop. Because by the time it gets not even a full revolution, it should have popped already. You're going to swing past the TPMS sensor and snap it. So you only have that short window. It's just about over half a turn. But it should be popping right off. If it's not, you got to stop and back up again, because the whole thing is you don't want to touch the TPMS sensor. On an old school steel rim, you wouldn't even have the tire valve in because you're going to pop in a new one. You would cut them out. But on the newer cars, you always pull the valve core out. It makes it easier. And always put in, if you want to put in a new one, always use nickel. Don't use copper. These are nickel valves that won't corrode inside the TPMS sensor and cause a problem with electrolysis. Always want to use nickel. Ready to mount it. Again, we're at 7 o'clock. Tire valve. The arm is already here. By the time the tire valve gets to the arm, this tire should be seated, like I said before. If not, you're going to take it back off and then spin it back around again. It dropped. It didn't even go 60 degrees and it already plopped down. I'm going to back him up, back to 7. I'm just keeping the air valve aligned, and then we'll go back around again. All right. Now we're going to fill it up.
Whenever you have a divot like that, you want to be careful just in case.
And this is still clamped to the tire machine. You never want to always unclamp it after. You'll be a lot safer that way. Just putting back the Schrader valve. Taking the Schrader valve out aids in seating the bead. When you have the Schrader valve in and you do it, there's so much less air that gets in. You're going to kill yourself to pop the bead on the rim. And if needed, you have the bead seater, the big air tank. You can introduces 100 PSI, boom, instantaneously. But with these little rims, you never have the need for it.